Oh, hello. Hold on. Good day to you all. 1 second, just getting the audio right, because it's a bit loud at the moment. I can't hear what I'm saying. Okay, so this is Assassin's Creed episode, whatever episode. This is 46? I could check. Oh, I could check. I can't check. How can I check? How can I check? How can I check? 41. Alright, I was 5 off. So this is episode 41 of Assassin's Creed 2. This is going to be a pointing episode. If you're unfamiliar with the term pointing, it means I'm going to be going around collecting we're doing all the viewpoints, hence the name pointing, and collecting all the feathers and treasures, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all I get. Yeah, and basically show you off the district as well, just so if you're interested in what the layout of the city is, you get to learn it a little bit more, so you can help plan missions later on. I'm also going to be reading off the databases. That's the first thing I'm going to do, and then after that I'll be doing some sort of post-commentary where I'll just be talking, but I probably will try not to say anything too important. So if you don't want to watch all this sort of pointless running around and stuff that you might deem unnecessary, then you can skip ahead to the next episode and it'll be fine, and you will be none the wiser. But if you're a pointer and want to see everything like me, then welcome pointers. Let's begin with a little bit of database entries. District of San Polo. The district of San Polo is home to the famous Rialto Bridge and Venice's oldest church, San Giacomo di Rialto, which dates from the 5th century. It also contains Santa Maria Gloriosa del Fiorari, one of the largest churches in Venice. Merchants flock to San Polo to sell their wares. Small wonder the palazzo of Venice's most powerful 15th century merchant Emilio Barbarigo is located here. Venezia. Likely established sometime around the late 7th century, Venice's lagoon-locked location was the result of Byzantine settlers attempting to hide from Lombard invaders. By the Middle Ages, the city had grown into great naval power. Its strategic position at the top of the Adriatic meant that ships taking goods inland had to go through Venice, filling its coffers with money and commerce. Entering the late Middle Ages, Venice exercised influence over both its neighbouring states and the Church. When the Fourth Crusade rolled around in 1202, the Crusaders required transport on Venice's ships, which the Venetian Doge Enrico Dondillo agreed to on the condition that the Crusaders retake the Dalmatian city of Zadar and then capture Constantinople. When Constantinople fell, the city was sacked by the Venetian fleet, which sold, among other things, 4 bronze horses as ornaments for their Balisca San Marco. Now, that's what I call a faith-based initiative. As Venice's wealth grew, so did its fleet. Through sea battles, she gained Byzantine territory, Hungarian territory, and destroyed the Genoese fleet. Venice's fortunes were so intertwined with that sea that every year the Doge would throw a ring into the lagoon while saying, in Latin, "We wed thee, sea, to the sign of the true and everlasting Lord." Despite much eye-raising about the godliness of sea-human relations, the Pope sanctioned this marriage. By the end of the 15th century, Venice was quite possibly the wealthiest city in the world and the second largest city in Europe after Paris. But the rest of Europe had had enough. France, Spain, Austria and Hungary joined together in the League of Cambrai, partnering with Pope Julius II to crush Venice. But Venice was able to weather the storm, ultimately keeping her territories even after several disastrous defeats. But she would never expand again. Turkey attacked in the 18th century and Venice began a long decline which ultimately ended in 1797 when Austria took control of the Republic. San Marco District, the heart of Venice. San Marco is the administrative district. Everything circles around Palazzo San Marco and the Palazzo Ducale. There are lots of landmarks to see here, including the famous Church of San Marco. Santo Stefano, from Rebecca. If I was there, I'd race you to the top of that church tower. This Gothic church was constructed in the 13th century, then rebuilt in the 14th. It's notable for being the resting place of a Doge, Andrea Contanarini, and for the fact that Martin Luther once said Mass inside. Palazzo Ducale di Venezia. The Palazzo Ducale was constructed from 1309 to 1424 in the Gothic style as the residence for the Doge, or rather his prison, since the Doge was rarely allowed to leave once elected. The Doge was the highest ranking elder in Venice and served in his position for life. In 1172, the selection of the Doge became entrusted to a committee of 40, the 40, whose members were chosen by the Venetian Great Council. Venice liked to think of itself as a republic, meaning that the people could participate in the government. While the Doge took office, he was introduced to the people with the words, "This is the Doge, if it please you." In fact, members of the Great Council were appointed by the 40, which in turn chose the 40. See the problem there? Candidates for the Great Council were selected from a microscopic pool containing only noble families, and although the Doge could nominate anyone in the council, the 40 and the council itself had to approve the nomination, because the general population was largely uneducated. The election rules were purposefully complicated, and the council controlled the guards. Venice followed the historical norm, the people got screwed. Campanile di San Marco. From Rebecca. One of those strange glyphs Sean mentions on this landmark. You should go find it. Originally built as a watchtower in the 9th century, the Campanile di San Marco was later transformed into a bell tower. Each of the 5 bells was a special purpose. One announced the Senate, another announces midday, a third the opening and closing of the workday, and the 4th council meetings, and the 5th the final bell executions. Balisca di San Marco. The Balisca di San Marco was first built in 828. To house supposed relics of St. Mark stolen from Alexandria. The present Byzantine-style Balisca was constructed in 1063. Check out the facade. Many of the decorations were brought back from the Crusades or given as gifts from wealthy merchants. The church was considered the Doge's personal chapel. A passageway inside connects to the Palazzo Ducale next door. Torre dell'Orologio. From Rebecca, one of those strange glyphs Sean mentions on this landmark. You should go find it. Constructed in the late 15th century as a display of Venice's wealth, the Torre dell'Orologio displays the time of day, the current phase on the moon, and, for those of you who believe that all of humans' behaviour is governed by the shapes in the stars, the dominant sign of the zodiac. According to legend, the designers of the clock face were blinded once their work was completed so that they could never duplicate it elsewhere. While this is probably the designers die living inside the clock tower for the rest of their lives to maintain it. The Torre dell'Orologio ended up serving one very important practical purpose. It was used by sailors in the nearby harbour to time their departures with the tides. Alvisi di Villanandino. Date of birth 1441, profession baggage handler. A Venetian native, Alvisi worked as a baggage handler for several years until, convinced by Venetians' superiority, he enlisted in the navy in 1500. He was tasked with defending the fortress of Modon from the Turks. After a heavy night of drinking, Alvisi awoke to Turkish cannon fire bombarding the town. Panicking while running across the deck, he tripped, hit his head and drowned. When it became clear Venice had lost the battle, he was accused of negligence and the ship's captain was erased from the logs of the navy. Rosa, date of birth 1460, profession thief. The child of an unknown Venetian nobleman and a prostitute, Rosa grew up on her own in the streets of Venice. In 1475 she attempted to pickpocket the leader of the Venetian Thieves Guild and was caught red-handed, but Antonio, instead of reporting her to the police, took her on as a pupil. He kept several logs of her training, noting that her ability to leap up from the street to seemingly unreachable windowsills was unprecedented. In terms of her social skills, her vocabulary was colourful to say the least. Apparently she could also hold her own in a fight. Antonio writes that the last of my thieves who tried to kiss her escaped with most of their mouth intact. Antonio, date of birth 1446, profession leader of the Guilda di Ladri di Venezia, Venetian Thieves Guild. Antonio was born in the very bottom of Venetian society. Records indicate his father was a cobbler while his mother was a live-in maid for the Bellini family. Teaching himself to read and write became apprenticeship sessions with his father. Antonio applied to the University of Padua, but was denied due to his low social rank. Documents found in several Italian archives indicate he applied to other schools around Italy as well and was denied all of them. Around 1465 he drops out of the record books, only to re-emerge 4 years later in connection with a robbery of a noble Venetian estate that happened to be owned by the rector of the University of Padua. In statement recorded by the city guard before Antonio mysteriously escaped from prison, he said, "Hard work is not enough to gain superiority in Venetian society. If one truly wants more, one has to take it." Codex page 4. What follows are the three great ironies of the Assassin Order. 1. Here we seek to promote peace, but murder is our means. 2. Here we seek to open the minds of men, but require obedience to a master and set of rules. 3. Here we seek to reveal the danger of blind faith, but yet we are practitioners ourselves. I have no satisfactory answer to these changes, only possibilities. Do we bend the rules in service of a greater good? And if we do, what does it say of us? That we are liars? That we are frauds? That we are weak? Every moment is spent wrestling with these contradictions, and in spite of all the years I have had to reflect, still I find no substitute answer, and I fear that one may not exist. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Does one creed provide the answer, then? That one may be two things, opposite in every way, simultaneously, and why not? Am I not proof? We of noble intentions, possessed of barbaric means, we who celebrate the sanctity of life, and then promptly take it from those we deem our enemies. Codex page 5. Who were the ones that came before? What brought them here? How long ago? Centuries? Millennia? Longer still? So little remains of them. What drove them out? What are these artifacts? Messages in a bottle? Tools left behind to aid and guide us? Or do we fight for control over their refuse, giving divine purpose and meaning to little more than discarded toys? Codex page 17. All of the things I've seen, none troubles me more than the images of the flames. Pillars so tall they seemed to pierce the heavens. The ground rumbled and shuddered, mountains split and crack, great metal towers splintered, the innards strewn about the ground, and everywhere there was screaming. A chorus so terrible that even now I feel its echoes still. What is this madness I have seen? Is it them, I wonder? Those who came before? Is this where they went? Into the fire? Into the dust? Perhaps their destruction power is what the Templars seek, that they might hold it over us and command devotion. What hope would we have, then, if they had such darkness in their hands, that they could murder the world? Codex page 24. Some days I miss my family, or at least the thought of them. I never knew my parents well, despite them both having lived within these walls. It was our way. Perhaps they were sad. Though they showed no sign, it was not allowed. For my part, so much as my youth was spent in training, there was little time left to reflect upon this separation. And so when they were finally lost to me, it seemed no different than the passing of two strangers. Al-Mualim had been as my father, and he was a weak and dishonest love, though at the time it seemed enough, better even, or so I thought. Some day I will have a child, such is the way of our order, and I will not make the same mistake, nor any who call themselves an assassin. We should be allowed to love our children, and in turn to be loved. Al-Mualim believes such attachments would weaken us, cause us to falter when our lives are on the line. But if we truly fight for what is just, does love not make such sacrifice simpler, knowing that we do so for their gain? Codex page 29. A dark title rises from the east, an enemy of such size and power that all the land is made quick with worry. Their leader is a man named Temujin, who has adopted the title Genghis Khan. He sweeps across the land, conquering and subsuming all who stand in his way. Whatever his motives, he must be stopped. Were I younger, I might attempt to undertake this work in secret, as I suspected the presence of the Peace of Eden. But those days are years gone now. The mantle must be passed. It is time she and I spoke with our sons. We will travel there together, that they may be tested and that this threat might be stopped. Do not react to this message. This message is post commentary. How does that feel? So, I don't know how long I've got. I haven't got very long at all. You'll find out as I'll talk about in a minute or so that the audio, the style I did is I was trying to do it all in one take, so it wouldn't really matter about editing it. I'll be able to tell how much I needed before I edited it all together. However, I didn't think it worked because I accidentally skipped the video, as I will mention soon. However, it did sort of work out after all, because it turns out I skipped ahead too far, because I skipped the video ahead and then moved it back to where I thought it was, and I was sort of on the mark. I was about however long this audio takes now out of it. Plus I had to obviously cut it all down as well, so it freed up a little bit of space. But it actually worked. I was afraid I was going to have too much post-commentary, but I didn't have enough, so this is good. It means I can do this and it'll be all fine. So you'll hear me sort of talk about this in a second or so, because I'm putting this at the start, because, you know, I've already linked up to where the other thing was, so no, that's obviously what this bit is. This is the bit that is I needed commentary for that I didn't put in because I didn't record, because this was... it's hard to explain. Pretty much, though, this is something because it actually worked and I didn't think it did. So this was going to be called Oblivious Guards and... stupid commentary, sorry, I had to read it. However, it did work after all, which is a big surprise to me. So I think... oh, damn it. It doesn't matter, I'm just looking at this video as well and it's really interesting. Yes, so this is now going to be called, because it worked, Pointing 9, Oblivious Guards and Working Commentary, because it actually did work, which I'm very surprised of. But like I said, obviously from this point on, I will start talking about how it didn't work and how it probably mucked it up, but it did work, so... you know, there's that. And this is sort of just not long. Like, I think it was 2 minutes, I think it was in the end. So I've just set my microphone up quickly so I can do that. And I'm holding my pop filter, so that's happening. If you wanted to know. Oh yeah, but what can you expect from the rest of this Pointy episode? Not a lot. I talk about what we're going to expect next week, which is actually pretty good. I'm actually... when's this out? This is out tomorrow, I think. So Sunday. This has actually worked out pretty well, because I've actually sort of edited most of the videos already. This is not this one. I've got 3 left. 2 of them are Overlord 2, and one of them is a pointing one. I probably won't be able to do the pointing one because I'll have to record that one probably after the podcast. But so far so good. My goal of getting these things done before the Sunday is so far working this week, which is good. This bit of audio is coming to an end soon, so I'll probably have to say goodbye now. So yeah, I'll hand back to post commentary. This has been post commentary. Thank you. Bye bye. Right, I hope this works out. My attempt to try and read off the database entries while the video is going so I know exactly how much I need failed because I accidentally skipped the video and I had no idea where I was. So I hope the timings match up and I hope there's not a big silence. If there is, I'll have to improvise, because that is the best thing to do right now. But hopefully it worked out. I'm going to have my mug of tea anyway. I need it after that. My voice is gone. I didn't do too badly there. Like, I managed to read them all off without any mistakes. At least for the first half I did. And then I sort of skipped ahead in the video and I was like, oh no. That sort of threw me off. But I was doing quite well until then, I think. But no, there's some interesting stuff. What was it we found out about the codex pages? About obviously the 3 ironies of the creed, which, you know, it's obvious. They fight to stop the fighting. Or quell, should we say. They stop to quell the fighting. Here's a big irony, because they obviously fight to fight, stop fighting. And it also mentioned about the ones who came before. I was trying to work out that. Have we actually heard about the ones who came before? I think we found out in the first game from modern day stuff, which they said about the pieces of Eden. Tools left by them, or whatever they are. And I'm trying to think what happened after that. I think that's pretty much it, because we didn't learn any about them from Altair's age. No, yes we did. Al-Molin mentioned it, I think, when we had the Apple of Eden. Yeah. So we do know a little bit about them, but not too much. But maybe we'll find out in this one about those who came before. Maybe they are simply our ancestors. Maybe they are simply the assassin ancestors. Although we have found out from one of the glyphs that the assassins are children of the ones who came before, plus the other people, normal people, humans. That's it. So yeah, we do know that then. And I think we need to find out. Obviously, we found out about Genghis Khan as well. What game was that? What we found out about Genghis Khan? I think that was Revelations, where we'll find out more about that and all that sort of stuff that comes with it. But we'll have to see how that turns out. What happens in that game. Which will happen eventually. Obviously, every 3rd or 4th game I try to do an Assassin's Creed game. So obviously run number 2. Next one will be Brotherhood, then it'll be Revelations, then it'll be 3. Although no, there might be some other things I might want to do. I might want to try and do Liberation. Is that Liberation? Is it called Liberation? You want the one with the female assassin? Or Templar, I think it's Assassin, but it's a Templar-made game or something to do with that. I haven't played it, so I don't know. But I'll try and do that one as well, because I can. That's on PlayStation 3 or 4, one or the other. And what was the other one? There's another one as well. It's not Freedom Cry, because that's DLC, so I'll treat that as DLC. I'm sure there was another one as well, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, it might have been Chronicles China. Oh no. I fell down and died. Although I didn't die, I'm still alive. I'm just slightly worse for wear, because I'm now in the water. I'm a little bit gutted that I skipped the video. It was going so well up into that moment. I'm hoping it works out. I don't know what I can do if it breaks. Alright, say if it breaks, what can I do? I can cut parts of my conversation out. But if it's shorter, there's going to be a big gap. So what can I do? Leave longer gaps in between each codex page. As in database entry. That'll work. I'll do that. That sounds like a good option. I'll go away. Yes, I'll do that. Yeah, why not? Let's do that instead. That might work. It means more editing. I tried to do it all in one take, so it doesn't take a lot of editing, but it didn't work. Yeah, I took them guides so I can try and throw them at them, but they didn't seem to follow. They gave up, so it didn't really work. Right. There is a later Assassin's Creed game that has multiplayer, which I might have mentioned before. I'm trying to work out if I should mention it or not, but I think I will. And this is one of the maps, like this whole sort of area here, because I remember this bit trying to find someone. Just remember going around here, like trying to find them in this location. Where it's got the tower and everything. I don't know if you can climb the tower actually. Maybe you can. Stop. I don't know. I suppose then again, if I'm cutting some of this out, I might have to try not to talk about what's happening on the screen, because that would make it obviously not match up when I cut ahead and stuff. So what can we talk about instead? I've got the game running right now, so obviously reading off the database entries. What can we look at? I know what we can talk about. What's going to happen coming weeks. So when is this out? This is out this weekend, so that'll be the, not the 11th, the 11th today, 12th, 13th, Friday the 13th, 14th, 15th this comes out. So what's coming up in the next few episodes? It'll be... Oh, hello, you did follow me. Thank you, team of mercenaries. I'm talking about the game. Oh, dear. Didn't work out very well. So what's going to happen? I'm trying to think what happened. I recorded it yesterday, why do I not know? We had... Huh.
Hey, why are you here?
Where am I right now? I'm looking at this district. Ah, that's it. It's the whole battle with... is it Carlo Grimaldi, do we know? Because we found that out from the last target assassination. Yeah, this is the one where we're dealing with Carlo Grimaldi. So we'll deal with him. What do we have? What happens in it? We require the aid of Leonardo da Vinci and one of his many marvellous inventions, which that is fun. What else happens? We have to start some fires, which is pretty cool. Oh, I know what happens at the end of it. Oh no, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, the sequence after the one that you're about to see, so the one I haven't recorded yet. So I don't know what sequence we're in, but the one that's you'll see at the end of this week coming up, the next 4 episodes. It's the best sequence in my opinion. I started off and it was just so amazing. So many good things happened, but there was one bad thing that happened. I went into the final tomb, and there's an Easter egg in there to find something. However, I have tried thousands of times, and it did not work for me. Like, I tried on the camera, I tried off the camera, it just wouldn't work. I know what to do, I've seen videos of it working, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's a PlayStation 3, I don't know if it's because it's been patched, or I don't think it's been patched because it was put in there on purpose. I like the fact I'm poisoning all of these guys. I can't poison him though, but 3 is not too bad. Yeah, but I talk about the game again. Oh dear. But it didn't work, so I'm going to have to get a clip and put it in, which is sad, I know, but it obviously upsets me at the moment because it didn't work, but I think once I've edited it together it'll be alright, so I just need to do that and I'll be fine. But some very good things happened, which you'll notice. Like there was something with the guy I was chasing in that same tomb, which was amazing. And I'm sure there was something else as well, which I thought was amazing. Because I remember seeing it and I was like, that's going to be cool. I might be mistaken, though. That might have been the thing where that guy ran past. And he was like, he could be anywhere. And he's like, there he is. I might be thinking of that. I'm not sure. But what else? I think that's pretty much it. I know we've got some assassination missions, only about 2, I think. I think that's pretty much it. And hold on, I've got my list here. I might have some things on that. Oh yeah, and obviously since we do the last Assassin 2, we get the... what's it called? It will come to me. Armour of Altair, which is good. And also, I did check what weapons we have in the store. So, in more than 4 episodes' time after this one, so this one plus 4 more episodes, after that, and a pointing episode actually, so the next 5 after this one, we will be able to get the Sword of Altair, the best sword in the game. I was actually looking at some of the DLC, not DLC, but the transferable weapons from Bloodlines that I put on there. They're actually really poop. Like I was seeing which is better, and they are all really poop. So I could have used them when I downloaded them, but obviously, sadly, I didn't. So now they are not very useful, and I won't be using them, which is sad. And I'm not really happy about the daggers either. Like, I don't know if I've got all the daggers now. Which one have I got? Have I got a notched Cindier? I might not have that. I think I might be this coming week. But I get that one, and that's the best one in the game. Yet it's still not maxed out on everything. Like, the deflect is worse than the butcher's knife, but everything else is better. So that's why I was stuck with that one. But actually, what I've got, I'm going to have a quick look. Oh no, I've looked away now. I can't see. Can't see what dagger I'm using. Oh well. But that happens. Oh, this, I mentioned this the other day. I'm going to talk about the game. Oh well. But this is something that I mentioned. I'm climbing up here, the guards don't notice. I open the chest, I jump back off, and they still don't notice. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they are stupid and idiotic. Right, so what's happening in the next 5 episodes' time? Because that's where I am in the game at the moment. Like I said, we'll be doing that amazing... So in the 6th episode from now, what will we be doing? We're doing some really cool stuff. I've got my lists, I've written down stuff I need to do. We're going to have a look in the villa and look at the models, because there's some models in there which you haven't seen yet. You might have noticed them actually, but we're going to have a proper look at them. And then we're also going to get the final training exercise from the mercenary, because we can do that now that we've got a certain weapon. And then also, like I said, we're going to get the Sword of Altair. There's also a new pack for throwing knives from Mr. Owl, so we'll get that. And then we need to drop the feathers off and stuff like that as well. And what else we got? I think that's it. But what story-wise? Obviously, it's a certain time of the year, which sounds bad, but I don't mean it that bad, in the game. So we'll be going to play... We're going to have some fun with that, and it's really cool. That's all I can say. I really love it, and I really enjoy it. So we'll be doing that. Because, of course, we're going to be trying to kill the new something or other. Because he's recently new, due to the events of the next 4 episodes. But we'll see how that pans out. Right, how much have we got left? Too long. Too long, that's all I have to say. Right, what else can we talk about? Oh yes, next pointing episode. Pointing... something or other. Actually, I need to fill out a name for this one. This is pointing 9, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned. But in pointing 10, I walk around as Altair. And it's surprisingly how surprising it does look like Altair. Like, even every little detail, like the movements, look like Altair, which is really good. But it's surprising how much it does. So what... I'm going to say, what can I call this episode? The only thing I can think of is something to do with the audio problems. What can I call it? I have no idea. What was the last one? The last one was the Pointer's Venice or something like that, or something like that. Something to do like that. I can't remember what it was. What could I call this one? Have I actually seen a single pickpocket in this one? I don't think I have. That is amazing. I just want to point that out. Has anything interesting happened that I can call this? We have talked about those who came before, I suppose. We have actually had a lot of Codex pages entry, so maybe we can call this more of the Codex or something like that. I don't know. That's actually a very good question. What's going to call this? Anything else interesting happened? That's probably about it. More Venice. Lagoon. No, I don't think there is. I nearly hit them guys. That would have been bad news. I think this is on the other side. No, oh, I was wrong. I was right in the past and wrong in the future. Although that future is now the past. How does that work out? Look, I need tea left. I'm slightly melting here, you know. It's quite hot. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have a PS3 on, TV on, computer on, the tower on, a lamp on, a microphone on, but I don't think that gives off any heat. No, I don't think it does. Is the heating on? The heating might be on as well, maybe. Oh, look, I've jumped. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm all the way back at the Villa Auditore, yet there's still a load of this video left for me. Maybe there's a clip that I left in, so now it's rendered all the way out. Right, well, there's the money. Why have I jumped all the way back here? What is going on? Okay, we'll put them on the wall. This is confusing. What the devil? Was I supposed to cut this bit out? Like, is this me? I'm not moving, so I'm thinking maybe I'm supposed to cut this bit out. Oh, that's good. That means if I need extra footage, and I'm moving. Oh no. I was gonna say if I needed extra footage, I could just keep more of this in. Because obviously I'm talking. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, I know what it is. Some of this is the database footage I need to obviously move over. Oh, right, we're nearly done then. Right, well this is pointing. I'm trying to find some seats. Well, this is going to be pointing 9. Oblivious guards. And a silly commentator. Something like that. Oblivious guards and a silly commentator. And silly commentary. So pointing 9, oblivious guards and silly commentary. And stupid commentary? Stupid commentary. So pointing 9, oblivious guards and stupid commentary. Yeah, because that sounds like a kid. Right, well, I'm going to sit down with these sitters. We haven't seen them in a while. So I shall say see you later. Goodbye.